All right, hello everybody. Hello. I'm the company's full high for today. It's probably going to be a bit of a chaotic day. Today's first one we can leave. What is it? What do you call it? And but we're going to work through it together. And I'm here to help answer questions, help out along the way. The way it is that by your should be done and ready to go. Real quick, I want to remind you if you haven't done so yet, please merge your development branch into the main branch. I mentioned this in class the other day, but if you haven't done it yet, please give that a go now. And if you're having trouble with that part, I've talked to if you're having trouble with that part, don't worry too much. It's okay. It's the first iteration. It's happens. So don't worry about it. There'll be some time, probably at the end of class today, where we can get problems like that fixed. That's what we need. So just again, and we'll figure it out. As far as what we're going to do today, we're going to start by doing the listener review. And you should have received an email from yesterday with a link to the group that you are supposed to be reviewing. This is going to be the group that you're reviewing for all 3 iterations. So you're going to get to see this project continue to grow and right? So I need everybody to find this and click on the peer review link that is on the calendar for today. This is the form that I'm asking. Not this form. This form. This is the form that I'm asking you to fill out for today. Go ahead and get started by filling out your name. Note that I only do this just to check to see who's filling out the name of the reviewer. Reviews are words. In real life, it's really not the case. I'm sending the review. Say what you need to say. So, you want to use it for any purpose. Make sure you get it. Put your review itself with comments. And please paste the link, the GitHub link that you were emailed. Please paste that into the second form there. Place that in the second box. You don't need to clone anything yet. We've got some stuff that we need to take a look at before you need to clone. Clone the repository. Starting with the project board. So that's going to be our first. That's remember there are 5 criteria. These are actually the same 5 criteria that I'm going to be reviewing. And the first one is the project management piece, which means looking at the project board. So let me go ahead and pull one up here real quick. I think I can pull up my copy and use that as an example. So there should be a project associated. If you go to the link for the repository, there should be a project associated with it. I want you to click on that project board, the Kanban board, and take a look at it. We're right. Well, I'm going to see that there are 8. Well, it might be less, depending on the group size. Make that clear. Well, there may not be 8 on there, but I'm going to have to remember they should be assigned people, so check make sure they're assigned. Make sure they're in the proper formats. I gave you the format this time, so that should be easy. But for next iteration, that's something that we're looking for as well. A blank should be able to blank. That should be the format of all of the cards. Take a look at it. Fill out the form. There's 2 questions. One of them is a multiple choice, and then another one is any feedback you have. If there's anything that they can fix, if there's anything that doesn't look right, if you or you can't find it, let me know. So we'll help you out. And yeah, give you a few minutes, then we'll go on to the next one. Yeah, I know it hasn't been working for me. There's plenty of other space though. You need to move closer to the screen. Yeah. More minutes on this. Not seeing too many people left working on it, so a couple more minutes before we move on to the next parts. It's on the calendar for today. The peer review. All right, one of the five categories down. Let's go ahead and move on to the second one, which is repository management. So for this one, we're concerned about branching. That's probably the biggest thing that we're interested in. So again, no need to clone anything yet. Just head back to your repository page and take a look at what branches exist. Ideally, you'll see, well, the development branch should be there, of course, and the main branch should be there. But you should also other branches for the various tasks. It's possible that maybe those branches were deleted after the tasks were complete. So if you don't see them, that's not necessarily, an immediate red flag. But you should also be checking to see if there are pull requests. So especially if the branches don't exist anymore, the pull request for each of the tasks, again, there should be one for each. So it should be roughly, depending on group size, pull requests. There should be roughly one per task. So you can check that to make sure that proper branching was used. Check the names of the branches. So they should be based on the names of the tasks. If you see a person's name, one of the branch names, call that out. That is not appropriate. That is not the branching structure that we're using. So make a note of that. It should also be merged into main. So if it hasn't been merged in the main branch yet, make a note of that. It's a pretty minor thing, but it's still something that we want to make sure we get fixed up for next time around. And then the other thing to pay attention to regarding the repository is what's actually in the repository. So we want to make sure there's no extra in the repository that's not supposed to be there. So the biggest offenders for junk in the repository for this project are going to be class files. Any files with not in the repository should not be there. Those are binary files. Binary files should not hit your repository. There's a bin folder. That's typically where the class file, the dot class, that bin folder with those dot class files should not be in the repository. So make a note of that. Let that group know that, hey, you got some extra stuff that doesn't need to be in here, needs to be taken out. There are examples. So they're really the only in the repository at this point in time are probably .java files. So and the readme we did ignore. So besides that, it's possible that it's okay, but I would be a little suspicious of it. So you might want to make mention of it on the peer review. So take a moment, take a look at the repository structure. If you have any questions, if you're unsure of what you're looking at, try to flag me down. We'll go on to the next. All matter of now still. Now the says probably have for them. What of you? Other question? I don't. You'll be. What I'm doing is that right now, it's not is only the title. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's I mean, right. I go back to. There's like if you transfer the money, you can see the money actually get transferred. I mean, like if you transfer the money out of but there you just can't tell even if you put much money down. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you all people are that you know book those. Not that we change it's that all obviously. Yeah, those waiting. We just grab. Wait, so that's why it's important to remember. Yeah, like you want perfect. That's good. Look at the wording. We didn't get it right. It's would it be you should use a different culture on this time? All right. Our next criteria number 3 is the code quality. Right. And even for this one, we still don't need to clone it. We can do it all right there on GitHub. So definitely dig into the code now. Um, if you need to, hopefully the code is on main, but if they weren't able to successfully merge to main, then switch over to the development branch if you have to. That's okay for this one. And then take a look at the source folder. I'm not worried about the tests right now. I'm worried about the actual code itself. So dive into the code itself. There's probably a lot more than what I provided you to start with, but I want you to look for the kinds of red methods that are longer than 20 lines. Call it out. You see long classes that have more than 20 instances per. You see indentation problems or formatting things and make it hard to read the code. Bad variable names, bad method names. Call those things out. That's what this peer review process is for, is to help make sure that professional grade, professional quality is what we're going for. So take a look at all the files, provide some feedback on the form, and if you have any questions, let me know. I mean, ideally, it was going to have the work going out, like. Well, yeah, I'm asking. Yeah. So I'm just seeing. What's that? It's on the calendar for today. So click on peer review. One for the second one down there. We're doing the peer review. The first minute. Just a couple more minutes on this one. Just try to hear. I heard it. What kind of like this? Oh yes. Yeah. Okay. And then you just chop the wire and you just or eat the stars. Yeah. When you're at the stars. I see this. All right, we're still working on, we're doing the code quality that is okay. There'll be some time at the end if you need to come back and revisit one of these. But I'd like to go ahead and move on to the fourth criteria now, which is testing. And yet again, this one might seem a little bit surprising, but we actually are not going to clone the repository yet. We are not going to primarily we are looking for test coverage. Are we actually testing all of the parts of the code that need to be tested? So we can do this by visual inspection, really the quantity of the tests and also checking which methods are being tested. Remembering that not all methods do need to be tested. So methods that don't need to be, examples of methods that don't need to be tested, do not need to be tested. Any methods that just print things, we don't need to test those. There's not enough meat there for us to even test, right? Any methods that use the scanner, also can't test those. Some people may try and do that anyway. I usually see a couple groups try that per semester, but it's not required. But for all the other methods, please check and make sure that tests, at least one test exists per method, ideally more. One of the more common pieces of feedback for me on this part is you need more tests. It's hard to have too much tests, too much testing going on. So create sort of a here. There are methods that aren't being tested that you think should be tested. Definitely point that out. Yeah, and let me know if you have any questions. One per class. So you were just. Yeah. Yeah. Why? I have to apply. All names. Wait, I run a test. I run a test, but you just. Oh yeah, I never even thought about that. Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, I know that's all that has. I don't think so. It is, yeah. Yeah. Yes. They're just murdered straight to point. Yeah. Point that out. Yeah, definitely point that out. That one's a lot less fine. Take it a bit. I think some groups struggle with that step. All right, everybody, we've got one category left to go, and this is when we are the repository and try to run the code. So, please go ahead and open up the command line on your machine. It is very important to do this via the command line because one of the things that we need to test is the script. So please don't use VS Code for this part. You can load it in VS Code too if you want to, but definitely need to do it via the command line. That is important. So go ahead and fire up the command line, and then you're going to do a clone. Go ahead and clone the repository. Let me get back to mine here so I can actually clone it. All right, go ahead and clone the repository using the git clone command. Then don't forget to cd into the repository that you cloned. At this point in time, if they were able to commit, if they were able to merge everything into main, then at this point in time, you should be able to run ls and see a script file here, which you should then be able to run. If they were not able to successfully merge development into the main branch, then you might have to take an extra step to check out the development branch first. So you'll need to, do that based on what you saw in the previous steps here. But there needs to be a script file. It should either be on main or it should be on development. If it's not in one of those two places, make a note of it. That's your job. If the script is there, then fire it up, and hopefully it works. If it doesn't work and it gives you an error message, it is not your job to fix it. It is simply your job to report it. So just copy the error message and ship it off to the team that you're reviewing. If it does work and the program runs, then take it for a spin. You should understand how it works. So take it for a spin. Make sure that it works. If you find any problems, send that feedback on over to the other group. But again, it's not your job to fix problems. It's just your job to report any problems that you come across. So if something ever doesn't work, okay, you're done. That's the end of your responsibility at that point after you notify the team. I'll give you a few minutes for this one. Don't take off though once you're done because there's something I need to talk to you about. But go ahead and take a few minutes to complete this last step. Yeah, that's just don't. Made you run just far. Yeah. Oh, just you can stop it. And but you have to install that extension with that. And here. Now let's see how the team you can merge in but when you like at least something for yeah, even though we're in those is left. Okay. So I remember I almost had like oh like after everything's fine. Everything's fine. Yeah. It is great. What you need to say is oh that's okay. I'll ignore them. Somebody else might do. So it's not your job to figure there should be a script. That's not process. Should be script. So all you need to do is say there's supposed to be a script. Goodbye. Well, also, who solves extension on yeah, it just seems like there's errors. So, I mean, to me, it seems like there's be a problem with scripting, but it's not your job to fix. So, just report it back on. Yeah. You definitely can, but I would still point out that it's ideally made. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'll be ready to tell you in just a minute. We're almost done. So here's all right, everybody. If you need more to go back and revisit one of the past sections on that form, that's totally cool. But once you are satisfied with your peer review, go ahead and submit it. And then I'm going to ask you to fill out another form, but this time it's going to be about your team. So I want to know how things are going on your team. There is a team review here. I need you to fill this out once for each person on your team. Just let me know how things are going. It does also say to fill it. It's not as, but you can definitely fill it out for yourself. I want to turn in a self-review as well, but it's very important for you to fill this out for your team members. And just so you all know, the way that this works, it doesn't happen very often, but if I do get reports from team members saying, hey, so-and-so isn't doing the stuff, right? I won't pass that feedback on directly. Instead, I'll kind of filter it a bit and be like, hey, I'll reach out and be like, hey, I've gotten some concerning feedback from your team. I usually send a warning, so they get one iteration to kind of figure it out and fix it up and get better. And if I continue to get bad feedback from team members, that's when individual grades start to go down. So just want to let you know that you should feel comfortable saying what you need to say. If it's bad news, I will filter it. If it's good news, then I just ship it on directly because it doesn't like to get good news from their team. So please, if you have nice things to say about your team, now's a great time to do that. I always love passing on positive feedback to people, but just want to make it clear how this feedback is actually used. And once you're done with that, that's all you need to do for me for today. I'm going to start grading these tomorrow, so you'll get grades back hopefully tomorrow on the project. Once you completed the peer review and the team review, you're good to go for today. But I'll stick around if you have any questions or if you need any help with anything. Thanks, everyone. You did